Apple fans, this could be a big one. A new Apple TV may finally be coming, and according to reports connected to Mark Gurman, Apple is preparing something new for the living room. Now the big question is simple. Is Apple TV 2026 finally happening? Is the release date really confirmed? And should you wait for the next Apple TV instead of buying the current one? In this video, we are going to talk about the rumored Apple TV 2026, the expected release window, possible new features, design changes, performance upgrades, and why this device could be more important than people think. So watch till the end, because the final part is where things get really interesting. Apple TV has always been one of those Apple products that people either love or completely ignore. It is not as popular as the iPhone. It is not as powerful as a Mac. It is not as exciting as Vision Pro. But for people inside the Apple ecosystem, Apple TV is actually one of the smoothest and cleanest streaming devices you can buy. The interface is fast, the remote feels premium, the picture quality is strong, and if you already use iPhone, AirPods, HomePod, or Apple Music, the experience feels very connected. But there is one problem. Apple TV has not had a truly exciting upgrade in a long time. Yes, Apple has improved the chip before. Yes, they improved the remote. Yes, they made the device faster and more stable. But for many people, the Apple TV still feels like a small black box that only streams movies and shows. That may change with Apple TV 2026. According to the latest rumors and reports, Apple may be working on a new Apple TV model for 2026. And when Mark Gurman reports something about Apple, people pay attention. Because Mark Gurman has a strong history of reporting Apple plans before they become official. Now, to be clear, Apple has not officially announced the new Apple TV yet. So this is not an Apple event confirmation. But when someone like Gurman talks about Apple's future product plans, it usually means Apple is at least seriously working on something behind the scenes. And that is why this Apple TV 2026 update is getting attention. The biggest rumor right now is that Apple wants to refresh its home entertainment lineup. That could include a faster Apple TV, better smart home features, stronger Siri support, and maybe a more powerful chip. If that happens, Apple TV 2026 may not just be a normal streaming box. It could become the center of Apple's home ecosystem. Let's talk about why this upgrade matters. The current Apple TV is already fast enough for most users. So why would Apple release a new one? The answer is simple. Apple is moving into a future where every device needs to be smarter. The iPhone is getting smarter. The Mac is getting smarter. The iPad is getting smarter. Even Siri is expected to become more useful. So Apple TV also needs to become more than just a streaming device. Imagine this. You turn on your TV and Apple TV does not just show Netflix, YouTube, and Apple TV+. It understands what you like. It recommends better content. It connects with your smart home. It controls your lights. It connects with your iPhone instantly. It works better with HomePod. It supports better gaming. And it becomes the main screen for your home. That is where Apple could be going. One of the biggest expected upgrades is the chip. Apple TV 2026 could come with a newer and faster Apple chip. This could make apps open faster, games run smoother, and the whole system feel more powerful. Now, for normal streaming, you may not notice a huge difference. Netflix will still play. YouTube will still work. Apple TV Plus will still stream. But the new chip matters for future features. If Apple wants to add better AI features, better Siri, better gaming, or more advanced home controls, it needs stronger hardware. This is why the chip upgrade could be more important than it sounds. Apple may not be upgrading the chip just for speed. Apple may be upgrading the chip to prepare Apple TV for the next generation of Apple software. Another possible upgrade is Wi-Fi. A new Apple TV could come with better wireless performance. That means faster streaming, smoother 4K video, better AirPlay, and fewer connection problems. For people who stream high-quality movies, this matters. For people who use Apple TV with HomePod speakers, this matters. For people who mirror their iPhone or Mac to the TV, this matters. And if Apple pushes more gaming or cloud features in the future, stable Wi-Fi becomes even more important. So even if the design looks the same from outside, the inside could be much better. Now let's talk about design. Will Apple TV 2026 look completely different? Maybe not. Apple usually keeps Apple TV design very simple. A small black box. Clean look. No extra drama. But Apple could still make small changes. It could be thinner. It could have better cooling. It could have a cleaner Apple logo. It could come with a redesigned remote. Or maybe Apple could improve the ports on the back. The Apple TV remote is also very important. Some people love it. Some people still complain about it. If Apple improves the remote again, that could make the whole experience better. Maybe better buttons. Maybe better Siri control. Maybe better Find My support. Maybe a small speaker to help find the remote. That one feature alone would make many people happy. Because almost everyone loses the remote at some point. Now comes the most exciting part. Gaming. Apple has been trying to make gaming bigger across its devices. iPhone gaming is getting better. Mac gaming is slowly improving. Apple Arcade is still around. And Apple TV already supports controllers. But Apple TV has never become a real gaming device. Apple TV 2026 could change that a little. I am not saying it will replace PlayStation or Xbox. That is not realistic. But Apple could position the new Apple TV as a casual gaming box. Something for families. Something for Apple Arcade. Something for controller games. Something that works with iPhone, iPad, and Mac. If the new Apple TV gets a stronger chip, better graphics, and better controller support, it could become a much better gaming device than before. And that would give people another reason to buy it. Because right now, many smart TVs already have streaming apps. So Apple needs to give people a reason to choose Apple TV. Gaming could be one of those reasons. Now let's talk about AI and Siri. This is where Apple TV 2026 could become very interesting. Apple is expected to improve Siri and make its devices smarter over time. If those improvements come to Apple TV, the experience could become much better. Imagine saying, "Find me a good movie for tonight. Show me something like the last show I watched. Play a comedy movie under 2 hours. Turn off the lights and start the movie. Show my photos from last summer. Continue the video from my iPhone." This is the kind of experience Apple could build. Right now, voice assistants on TVs are useful, but not amazing. If Apple can make Siri smarter on Apple TV, it could become a big selling point, especially for people who already use HomeKit, HomePod, iPhone, and Apple services. But there is also a problem. Price. Apple TV is usually more expensive than other streaming devices. You can buy cheaper streaming sticks from Amazon, Roku, or Google. Many smart TVs already have apps built in. So why would someone pay more for Apple TV? Apple needs to answer that clearly. The answer could be performance. The answer could be privacy. The answer could be ecosystem. The answer could be gaming. The answer could be smart home features. The answer could be long software support. But Apple cannot just release another small box with a faster chip and expect everyone to care. The 2026 model needs to feel like a real upgrade. It needs to feel useful. It needs to feel like something that makes your TV better than before. So should you wait for Apple TV 2026? Here's the simple answer. If your current Apple TV is working fine, you should probably wait. If you already have a recent Apple TV 4K, there may be no need to upgrade right now. But if you have an older model, or if your device feels slow, then waiting for the 2026 version could be smart. Because the next Apple TV may bring better performance, better Wi-Fi, better gaming, and better smart home features. But if you need a streaming device today, the current Apple TV is still very good. It is fast, clean, and reliable. The only reason to wait is if you want the newest model and you do not mind waiting. Now let's come back to Mark Gurman. Why is his report important? Because Apple does not reveal products early. Apple keeps things secret until it is ready. So when we hear reports from reliable sources, that is usually the only way to understand what Apple may be planning. Mark Gurman's update suggests that Apple TV is not dead. Apple still sees value in this product. And that is important, because many people thought Apple might slowly ignore Apple TV because smart TVs already have apps. But if Apple is still working on a new model, it means the company has a plan for the living room. And Apple's living room plan could connect to many things. Apple TV Plus, Apple Music, Apple Arcade, HomePod, FaceTime, Smart Home iPhone, Vision Pro. The Apple TV could become the bridge between all these products. That is why this device may be more important than it looks. So what should we expect? Here is the realistic list. A faster chip, better wireless connection, a smoother interface, possible remote improvements, better smart home support, better Siri features, better Apple Arcade and gaming support, and maybe a lower starting price if Apple wants to compete harder. But the dream version would be even bigger. Imagine Apple TV with a built-in camera for FaceTime. Imagine stronger AI features. Imagine better home controls. Imagine console-style gaming. Imagine Deep Vision Pro connection. Imagine a full Apple Home entertainment hub. That would make Apple TV exciting again. Now let's talk about the release date. Apple has not officially confirmed a release date yet. But based on reports, the next Apple TV could arrive sometime in 2026. The most likely timing could be later in the year in September, depending on Apple's product schedule. Apple usually does not make a big separate event only for Apple TV. So this product could be announced through a press release, or it could appear during a bigger Apple event along with other products. If Apple wants to make this device a bigger part of its smart home strategy, then it may give Apple TV more stage time. But if it is just a normal upgrade, then Apple may quietly announce it online. Either way, 2026 is looking like the year when Apple TV could finally get a serious update. Apple TV 2026 may not be the most hyped Apple product right now, but it could become one of the most useful products in the Apple ecosystem. If Mark Gurman's report is correct, Apple is preparing a new version. The release date is not officially confirmed by Apple yet, but 2026 is looking like the expected window. And if Apple gives this device real upgrades, it could be more than just a streaming box. It could be Apple's next big move for the living room. Now the big question is, would you buy Apple TV 2026 if Apple adds a faster chip, better Siri, better gaming, and smart home features? Or do you think streaming boxes are no longer worth it because smart TVs already have everything? Comment below and tell me your opinion. Also, if you want more Apple updates, leaks, and product news, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because as soon as Apple TV 2026 gets another update, I will cover it right here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.